United for 30 million. He's not with Arsenal on the south coast at Bournemouth today. And a big blow for Liverpool ahead of their game against Manchester City. Virgil van Dijk almost certainly will not play later this afternoon. Dramatic developments in the Alexis Sanchez transfer saga. It would appear Manchester United and Arsenal have agreed on a £30 million fee for the Chilean. He is not part of Arsenal's squad on the south coast today. He is on the move, it seems, to Manchester, but it's a real surprise for those of us who thought it was nailed on that he'd be going to Manchester City. More again. George Bertang and Graham Sharp with Andy and myself here this afternoon. So, gentlemen, Sanchez, it seems, to Manchester United. Why? And is he making a good decision?
Well, not for me. If you ask me, Richard, I think for me it's a big surprise, because I thought that he was going to go to Manchester City. Why not? Big club, best team at the moment. You are guaranteed a Premier League medal already in your start of your new Manchester City career. And I just think he fits there. Also, knowing that he's worked together with Pep Guardiola at Barcelona, it's always pleasant to have a manager that you've worked before, you know each other. It makes it a lot easier than to go to a new club for that particular manager.
Is he settling for second best going to Old Trafford?
I don't know if it's second best, Richard, but I just think he looks at Manchester United, and everybody knows they're a fantastic club, but Man City are the top dogs at the moment. But I just think if he's going to Manchester United, I think he's got more chance of playing week in, week out, you know, and that's no disrespect. I know people talk about resting players. I think if he goes into that City squad, I'm not sure if he's going to guarantee to start. They've got an abundance of talent, especially in those positions. I think if he goes to Manchester United, I think Jose Mourinho would say to him, 9 times out of 10 you're starting.
So in a way, are you saying he's good enough then to start at Manchester United, but not at Manchester City?
Yeah, I think that, listen, I think he's a wonderful player, but I think at Manchester City he goes into like an abundance of talent, a real top-class pool of talent there. You know, you look at the players they've got in those positions. You know, Jesus is out injured at the moment. Aguero, I know there's a bit of speculation about Aguero, whether if he comes in, Aguero might leave. I don't know what the situation is there. But for me, I think if he goes to Manchester United, he's guaranteed to play very near week in, week out.
Surprised? Yes. But what we should never forget is we're talking about Manchester United here. I know it's not been their best season. They've had their problems, and I know the team across the road are sweeping everything in front of them up till now. But this is Manchester United still, Richard. It's arguably the biggest club in world football. I think it might be the biggest club in world football, the biggest supported club in world football. So he's not joining a duff team and taking the money. Money's got a lot to do with it, in my opinion. I hate to say that in the modern game, but it has. He's going to earn much more money. He's going to get a huge signing-on fee, whatever that might be. So what he's going to earn by joining United is going to dwarf what he would have earned with Manchester City. So maybe that tells you something about the player himself. So,
can I put it to you then, as Roy Keane once said when Bayern Munich wanted to take him from Manchester United, what's the difference between 25 and 35 million when you finish? At the moment, his third choice was to stay put. If he'd stayed at Arsenal, where they love him, where they play to him,
that was never going to happen.
Why would that not be a factor in his mind? Still lives in London? Never going to happen.
I think that the gap between the players there and him is such a huge divide now. I don't think you could bridge that again. From what we read, the dressing room is very split on Sanchez. A lot of players want him out.
He's retained your support, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. Listen, as a footballer, I think he's unbelievable. I'd have him in my team every time. You can't. He works his socks off. He never shirks anything. He wants to play every game. He hates when he's been taken off. He scores goals. He creates goals. He wants to win. So why wouldn't you have him in your team? And that's why Pep Guardiola wants him in his team, because he has these qualities.
He will enjoy playing in a Jose Mourinho team as much as he might have done Manchester City under Guardiola, or even Arsenal under Wenger?
I think Manchester United is a better, no disrespect, is a better prospect than Arsenal. You know, I'm looking at the Arsenal squad. Manchester United's got a stronger squad, so you'd expect them, maybe not this year, but in years to come, to get better. Arsenal, I think, have got a lot of work to do, so he's looking at the long-term future as well. Listen, on paper you would say Manchester City at this moment in time are the choice, but if he wants to go and work for Mourinho, I think United can only get better and will get better. I'm not sure if that it's going to happen at Arsenal. I think it's a longer plan at Arsenal. I think if he wants instant success, he goes to Man City. But as Andy says as well, Manchester United is a massive football club, and I think if anybody had the opportunity would look at that.
Have they persuaded you?
No.
No, I agree with you saying, George. If you want to go and win the league title this year, you go and join Manchester City.
Even further, if we compare both teams, we compare Man City players on positioning alone in the next 3 seasons, I can't see how Manchester United is going to catch Manchester City. If we look at the left wing, right wing, compare those between Sane and you've got Sterling is getting better, right? Compare the centre forward. You've got Aguero. If Sanchez goes there, again, it's a massive plus where Man United is behind. Compare the goalkeeper. Both are good. I'll take both. Now go further in midfield. You got De Bruyne, you got De Silva. And what have you got in midfield at Man United? Pogba? He's the only one that probably will get into Man City's squad from the midfielders. The rest...
But that's this. You see, George, what I'd say to you is, this time last year, I'd have been sitting with you and we'd have been talking at Manchester City, as we were, and saying how disappointed we've all been and how Pep Guardiola's had a real problem and his team are not playing very well and they're miles off the pace. Now, in a matter of months, they've transformed that from where they were to where they are now. Why can't Manchester United do that? Why can't Jose Mourinho do that? Do you think this is the only signing Jose Mourinho is going to make in the next 6 months?
No,
it's
I don't.
Not.
That's a valid point. However, also Man City will progress in the summer. Man City will also buy players in the summer and improve their squad. So I do believe that in the next 3 years, Manchester United will always play catch-up to Manchester City.
Well, it'll be interesting.
Because the ground is just so much. Okay, Alexis Sanchez alone, Richard, yes, I think I agree 100% with Roy Keane. What can I buy when I retire from my career from 50 million that I can't buy from 35 million? At the end, it's about, if you're a real sportsman, it's about winning trophies and making history and making name in the game. And if he wants to make name in the game, Alexis Sanchez, I would have gone to Manchester City right now. And not United.
Well, I see where you're coming from. But listen, Alexis Sanchez has very much made his name in the game. He doesn't have to prove anything to anyone. He's won countless trophies for Chile as well. He's won the Copa America with his country. Sure. You know, he's a legend right now. And I just, sometimes the lure of a club is still there. I know you're not with me on this. You think the lustre is gone off the name of Manchester United. I don't, in football terms. I still think the words Manchester United conjure up a wanting to see what that club's like, to want to play for it.
I think it's a football club where the magic has been getting rubbed off from the badge ever since Fergie went. Don't think it's gone.
No. I'm
old enough to remember Ron Atkinson managing Manchester United, and of course, even in those days, they're a huge club. You yourself were considered by them, but they weren't the best club.
No.
But
and
Richard,
I think they've fallen some considerable distance behind even their near neighbours.
I agree with you, but don't you think as a player you're wanting to play? And you want to play most of the games. I think he's more opportunity to do that. But
why, if you're a player, Graham, surely you're of the opinion that you say to yourself, look, I'm good enough to go and play in any team, and therefore I fancy myself at Manchester City. What he's saying is I'm settling right now for second best and the money.
Well, I mean, no, you're wrong about what you say about City, because Sergio Aguero is good enough to play in any team. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, but there's always been a lingering doubt about whether he and Guardiola can work together.
What do you do then if you're Pep Guardiola? Alexis Sanchez is thinking, right, I'm going to play where I play at Arsenal. I'm going to play one just off the front, just in a wide area. Who's playing there for City at the moment? Two of the best young footballers, Leroy Sané and Raheem Sterling. Sterling's had the best season he's ever had in his life. Leroy Sané looks like he's going to be around for the next 10 years, the way he is.
Yeah.
So, what do you do with them? Do you then stunt their progress?
No.
By introducing Sanchez?
What we're doing is
Sanchez will know that.
Presuming Aguero's staying, and I think there's a serious...
So then what do you do with Gabriel Jesus?
You play the two of them, as he was early in the season. He's
not going to play the two of them.
Well, he did early season, didn't he?
Yeah, but they'll alternate.
Then he has to leave out Silva, De Bruyne. Yeah. It's not going to happen.
I think that's what he does. I think Guardiola will do that. He's got an abundance of riches, and he'll take one and put one in there. And he doesn't always. The dressing room, like, they accept it, Richard. And there are a lot of young lads as well, and they accept getting left out and put in. But I just think, for me personally, as a player, Sanchez, and I know that Man City looks like it's going to win things for the next 4, 5, 6 years, but you would still not look at Manchester United and say no. You still would not look at
Well,
Jose Mourinho and go no.
You want to enjoy your football, don't you?
Yeah,
Can
you
you
do.
enjoy playing for Mourinho more than you can playing for Arsene Wenger at Arsenal?
I mean, the answer would obviously be yes. I mean, you know, you've been doing this job as long as I have. Sadly, we both have. We know. We've listened to people who have played under Mourinho, hundreds of players down the years, who wax lyrical about how good he was to play for.
Yes, organisation, setting teams up to win big games.
No, that's
But
unfair
I
to
can't
Mourinho.
remember anybody
That's unfair
saying,
to Mourinho.
I really
Mourinho
enjoyed my
produced
game when I played.
Mourinho produced the Chelsea side that scored over 100 goals, produced a great team with the players he had. He went to Real Madrid, he produced another side that scored more goals than any other team has scored, winning La Liga as well. He doesn't just, he is functional. He's not Guardiola, but thank goodness. There's a difference. He's something else. He's not Guardiola, I give you that 100%. But give him he gets the players and gets the team, he'll produce football. I think he will.
I'm normally making that argument. Just for the sake of a conversation.
Yeah.